Now, I will ask you a question. From the time you're born, okay, you first be spending most of the time with your parents, right?
Yeah.
Because you have no choice. And you didn't choose your parents. Neither did they choose you. But of course, since you're young, they took care of you to whatever extent, okay? Now, you said my goal is to become, a music director, or whatever it is. Now, suddenly God appears and says you choose between achieving your goal and your parents. So, what will you do?
I'd probably pick my parents.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And just now, a few minutes back, you said you are more smarter than your parents. So, then it is just an emotional aspect that they gave birth to you.
Yes.
Is that the point?
Not really.
Why your parents? My question.
Because
Do you think your parents are the best people in the world you wanted to spend time with?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah? You met your parents, of course you know your parents.
Yeah.
But what if you meet other people who you think are better in every which way?
Still pick my parents.
Yeah, but that is the reason I'm trying to establish it is just the emotional link, not about who they are. That's the point, right? Okay, before you were born, okay, if God has asked you, I'm giving you a choice between your parents, it tells the names. This is one couple living there, okay? And there's one more couple, probably they're much better than your parents in whichever way. It could be financial, their position, and you get the best of life from them. If God asks you to choose between these two, who will you choose?
My parents. I have a very good reason for that, though. So, like, let's say the second set of parents, like, rich, wealthy, get the best life.
Yeah.
They let me do whatever I want. That just means that they will be there less. They will be traveling a lot, like in the movies.
But you don't know, you're putting characters into them.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, you don't know them. The point is, common sense tells me anybody in the whole world wants to get the best for them. They wish for the best.
Sorry, Mom.
Okay, now you have
Sorry,
an
Dad.
Indian father and,
Oh, yeah.
and let's say Polish mother, okay? Now, which country are you loyal to?
I'd say India, because,
India.
I do, we follow more traditions from India rather than Poland. The most Polish thing we've ever done was eat like a Polish Christmas dinner or go to Poland itself and speak a little bit of the language. But aside from that,
So you love your fatherland more than your motherland.
yes.
Okay. And do you go to church, you pray to Jesus?
Yeah, I do.
And then what about Hindu gods?
Hindu gods. So here's a controversial thing that I'm probably going to say. I don't believe in them.
You don't believe in?
No, I don't follow it. Well, maybe when I was little, I thought it was like, oh,
Okay.
cool, magical powers and that. But yeah.
Okay. So you don't follow Hindu gods, that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what do you think is the primary difference between Jesus and Hindu gods?
Primary difference.
What is the reason you chose that?
Well, it's not really a matter of choosing. It's more of a matter of like what's believable. I grew up going to church, so that's like one thing. Like my dad wasn't too. He wasn't like you should pray to this one, you should pray to that one. He more listened to what my mum said. There was a point of time where we went to church, like a Catholic church, and then we stopped. Then we started going back to a different church altogether, and that's where we are now. So during the time where I was 8 to 13, that's when I started kind of wanting to be a Christian. But before that, I thought all like the epics, like Ramayana and Mahabharata, I thought they were all like cool, because I always wanted to grow very giant and like punch sea monsters in the face and stuff. But yeah.
So Ramayana and Mahabharata are like Marvel movies to an extent.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, what did you learn from your religion as of today? If I ask you to tell me 3 points what you learned because of going to church or whatever.
Well, okay, that's a tough question, but up the top of my head...
That can't be a tough question, that should be elementary because you're already believing.
Yeah. So off the top of my head, I'd say...
So for example, to prod you, I'll tell you why I hate religion and I don't believe in God, because it's not about believing is not the right point. There are billions of life forms, like insects to animals to human beings to everyone. Okay. And I feel it's being very egoistic to believe in God, thinking that He will do something special for you among all those billions. You know?
Yeah.
So, when God doesn't care about me, I also don't care about God. That's
Okay.
how I take religion. Okay? So, in that context, what is it that do you think God will take care of you, or you're scared that if you don't abide by that, you might be punished in hell? Or what? It's either there has to be fear or some reward.
It's the reward for me. I mean, sure, like the whole purpose is to be scared, but you know, like other than that, in the Bible it says that God loves everyone, no matter if they're bad, because He wants everyone to go to heaven, and not rot in hell. So
Who wants
yeah,
everyone to go to heaven?
God,
God.
yeah.
Then what's the meaning of hell then?
Well, it's just to punish those that have been bad. You know, it's like morals. You know, like, you can't just go on a murder spree, kill innocents. You know, you kill children.
But
you know.
if God is responsible for every physical, intellectual, emotional activity, why did He make His own creation kill someone? He could have stopped it, no?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
free will. You know, like He's given them the choice to go to heaven. He's
No,
given
that's what
them
I'm
the
saying.
choice.
Did He? My whole point is that if you're creating a person and he's abiding by religion, it comes from a mind. So why did He even bother to create a mind which will go against? When He is responsible by definition.
That's a tough question right there. Okay, you have me stumped. Okay, so what I think is He does that because He loves us too much. If you like, let me put it that way. He loves us too much, and He wants us to do. He wants us
I
to
mean,
be
see,
happy. You know?
if he loves us too much, why did He create the coronavirus?
Coronavirus.
Why did He create the tsunamis and earthquakes, which I think only terrorists and God kill indiscriminately. They don't care the difference between men, women, children, religion, countries. He kills everyone equally, and the only other people who do that is terrorists.
So a funny thing with
For
corona.
example, Al Qaeda killed 3,000 people in America, you know, and the tsunami killed 2.5 lakh people. Okay, so just as a force, who's done more damage to mankind?
I'd say God.
And so,
you know.
I can think one person did a bad thing. How can women, children belonging to so many different countries, all of them supposedly the creation of God, and He massacred them? So did you ask that question in the church when you know about this?
No, but it's
Because
a
see,
question.
you will ask your government, you will ask anyone when you're working, why did this happen? And people don't ever ask God because they're scared.
It's a question I've actually thought about, you know, when I was younger. But when coronavirus started, I was like, I wonder why God made this. But you know, no one in my church was harmed with coronavirus, so He put His mercy on us. But you know, I think He was only
What He put His mercy on us, how?
like no one was inflicted with it, with like the bad one. Some people did get it, but they didn't like die. Nothing serious happened. They were healed after
I
like a
don't know
week.
if a lot of people died with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So the point is not about they should die or not. It's like when we are supposing He loves all of us, okay, and He wants good for everyone. He wants all of them to go to heaven. Then all the problems which happen and which create frustration, poverty, and all of them, the so-called negative things, if they are happening because of Satan, who created Satan?
God.
If God created Satan, why would He do that?
Because Satan also has free
Because
will.
I think God basically loves to be entertained, and He wants to keep these quarrels between people, and He enjoys it like how the Romans used to enjoy knights fighting and killing each other. I think that's what God does.
Why do you think so?
I'm just telling you. Because if there's no misery, you won't feel like that you're alive.
Oh yeah, okay.
The experience of life is a constant variation between how happy you are and how sad you are. And that can only happen when there are a lot of conflicts. So apart from the coronavirus killing many, it also entertained us. And that entertainment is primarily for God.
So,
Okay, now let me come to the question. If when you want to be a music director, you want to be in the Guinness book, you want to have something, let us say 5 to 10 goals you have, and you're also going to church every day, and you're probably praying for this to happen. And then when just before you die, you achieve none of these things, then will you hate God at that moment?
Nah,
No.
because I know.
Because you're scared, then he might send you to hell.
Oh no, not at all. You know, so if he does actually end me before any of that happens, God forbid, of course. But you know, in case that does happen, I would be happy because you know I get to go to heaven. I don't have to worry about all the bad things on earth. You know, I'm stress free. You know, and there are much more better rewards than Guinness Book of World Records or becoming a music director. You know, yeah, there are much more better rewards in heaven.
But see, you're living for the purpose of having an objective which you already identified. Then how can you say that it's okay? I mean, you're okay with what you get. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is being defeatist. Ambitious people don't do that.
Oh.
Yeah, people who make it in the life, they are relentlessly pursuing an objective.
I guess in this case it's an anomaly. I mean, I would.
Which means you're not desiring it with enough passion. Anybody wants to, because everyone desires something, but the degree of passion makes a lot of difference. When I want to be a director, I was like kind of consumed with that. I didn't want anything. Every second I was feeling like losing my life in the pursuit of me getting my objective.
All right. So, how would you say I could increase my passion?
I feel you already have, you're just not able to tell it in so many words because you're still dependent upon, you're not an adult, you still have your parents and maybe various other aspects, maybe you don't have enough knowledge. But I think a person of your intelligence and your understanding, I don't think you can be without a very high degree of passion. For example, my passion, I realized probably when I was 25, between 23 to 25, I would think. Till that time, my fingers were everywhere. Maybe I had goals, but I just never really pursued them relentlessly with a single-minded focus. Yeah, that I think you might have, you might get in the next 2 years, or maybe next 5 years. It's just a question of timing. When I was in school, I hated my studies. And when I never believed in anything. But at a point of time when I was lazy, at a point when I decided to become a director, that's when the whole thing changed. And that kind of coincided with I was making money myself without my parents' support. You know? So when I became financially independent, and I don't need to care about anyone what they think, obviously the focus will be far more because the decisions are coming from only you.